Hey coding owls, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Java dates and times. So this particular topic, it is basically a fear for experienced as well as the freshers. So let's explore it today. So before we start with the practical scenario of date times, let us try to understand the package of java.time. Now here, as you can see, that I have got three major implementation classes. What are those? I have got LocalDate, I have got LocalTime, and I have got LocalDateTime. Now LocalDate is for just displaying your date without any time zone. LocalTime is for displaying your time without any time zone. And LocalDateTime is like the combination of date and time but without any time zone. Okay, first simple point. Next, we need to understand that about this particular parts, we have got certain scenarios. We can consider these things as utility classes. So we have got zoned date time. For example, if you have a date time but you want to know what is the time in USA right now or what is the time in Pacific time zone, we can apply the zone date time. Okay, then if you want to find the difference between two dates and two dates, basically we have got something called as a class by name period. And if you want to find the difference in the time duration, I have got a class called as duration. Okay, next, for calculating all this stuff, we have got a class by name month, we have got a class by name year, we have got a class by name it's an enum day of year. So if you go around this whole implementation, majorly the revolution is actually around local date, local time, local date time. So let us start with the very first example right now. If I want to find out java.time package, so import java.time.star, and if I say public class create local date, and I start, I'll say main. Okay, I'll go through the main method, and here remember, local date, local time, local date time, all of them have one static method. What is that? The method by name now. So if I say local date dot now, it is going to give me the current date. So if I say system.out.println date, okay, so let's try to execute this and run this. I'll say java c create local date. Let me just bring the terminal up top, compiled, and if I say now java create local date, enter, I would be able to see date today is 2022-01-27. Okay, first simple example how I can get access to the current date. Now the next way of creating a date, let's say you have been given three values. Let's say int year is equal to 2021, int month is equal to, let's say, 03, that is March, and int date or day of month, I can say properly, is equal to, let's say, 30th of March 2021. And now you want to construct a local date out of this. How will you do that? You will say local date date 1 is equal to local date dot, there is a function called as off. You pass the year value in int, you pass the month value in int, you pass the day of month value in int, and system.out.println. Quite simply, you have the date which is basically generated using this value. So if I do this compilation and execution again, yeah, see the date generated based upon the value you have received from the end user. So this can be from any simple pattern what you all want to work around with. Now there, let's go and try to understand. For example, if I have this date one which is an object of local date one, if I want to find out what month it is, so I can just say system or I have got an object of month here. So if I go for month and I say month is equal to date one dot get month from that particular date. Yeah, and okay, variable is already repeated, so let's say month. Okay, I have already created that, so month from date, let's say. And if I just try to print this now, system.out.println month from date, let's see what I get here. So if I compile, execute, see it says it is March in the alphabetical. So this is something which was quite missing in java.util package when we used to deal with date. Now if I want to get the month in integer format, I can say int month in integer is equal to date and one dot get month value. If I want to fetch the month value in int, and I can say system.out.println month is colon, and I can just say here colon month in integer. Let's say what it gives me. It gives me month is 3. And one more very important part here, we don't have that scenario that month is running 1 month behind here. So whatever is the month value, exact value we will get here. I hope that is like one of the very important feature we get here. Now same way I can do it for day. For example, now the very important feature, day of week. Now what day of week exactly that is? So if I want to say, let's say I would like to find out for today's date. So if I say day of week is equal to date dot get day of week, and if I say system.out.println day of week, let me print that and let's see what I get here. See, it's Thursday. Yep, it's Thursday today, so I'm getting that day of week here. So this is really cool, guys. See how easily you can deal with this whole scenario and find out the whole concepts here. Yeah. So now let's say you already have a date, you want to add certain days to your particular date. What will you do then? Yeah, if you say I want to add, let's say I want to add 5 days to the current date, so I'll say local date current plus 5 is equal to date dot plus days, and I'll add 5 days to this. And if you see system.out.println date, actual date was this, yeah, and then after 5 days it says, let's say current plus 5, and let me see what is the output here. Okay, I need to compile it, run this. See, so it is 0127. After 5 days it will be 1st of February. Yeah, so I hope you are understanding this scenarios. If you want, you can do minus. If you want to add, let's say I have got that current plus 5, I can say local date current or after 1 month is equal to current plus 5 dates plus month, and I add 1 month to this, and let's say system.out.println. So I should be getting after 1 month here. Let's see what I get. So I should probably be getting, see, okay, see, I'm getting 1st of March. So easy to calculate the values here. Yeah, so it's quite simple here. I hope you got this. So the now function is basically for fetching out the data which we are getting on the everyday or the every other basis scenario. Now for example, so now you want to find out how long is this particular year you are looking for. So let's say or int length of year is equal to date dot get, or I can say length of year. I'll get how much long this year is, and system.out.println. So this is basically one of the feature I should be working around with. Also I can find length of month is equal to date dot length of month. So I don't have to worry about whether it is the 30 days, 34 days, whatever it is, like sorry, not 34, my bad. Either it is a 28 days month, 30, 29 days month, 30 month, or 31st month. So your choice. Yeah, the way you want, you can just use it out. For example here, if I compile this, so January is basically what we have, 365 days in 2022 and 31 days in this particular month. And if I change this to, let's say date of current plus 5, which was actually of February, so current plus 5, and let's see how much month it shows me now. how many length of days, so it shows me 28 days. Yeah, so I hope this is also very much clear to you guys what I am trying to do around here. Okay, now in this particular instance, let us consider that I have a date, a java.util.Date. Yeah, now this is something I would like to go ahead with date, and I will do what I'll say. So let's say this is example where I convert a date from java.util.Date to a local date. So I'll say date or let's say dt is equal to new date, which will basically be the current date value what we have right now. Now I want to do what, I want to convert this local date. So from date from, or I can say local date from date, that is util date. So here I will have what, this dt have a method called as toInstant. Now this instant is basically the instance in the time which is a java.util or sorry a java.time package thing that require at zone. Like zone is basically in what time zone you are, so I'll have to provide that zone id dot system default. So it is going to pick up what, the current system default date, and I'll say to local date. If I do this, see, I know the conversion is quite tough, but it's like something we'll have to deal when we are going with a new project. So this way what has happened now, I can just say that my date, so this was my dt, and if I say after putting some spaces here, and I can say local date from date, I would be able to find out what exactly this date is. See this, if I run this, so this was the date I received, and this is how I have converted it to the local date. Same way I can actually convert it to the local date time as well if I want to like get all the date and the time value together. Next, one of the most important feature is, let's say you are fetching the data from the database and you are getting it in the string format. So let's say string date in string format, and I can say what here, let's say the date, current date is 2020 -09-12. Okay, and now you want to convert this into a local date. So what we can do, we can just say local date from string is equal to local date dot parse function. So if I pass the parse, what it will do, date in string format, and if I do system.out.println now date in string format, simple as that. I've got this date compiled. Okay, now let's see if I have to convert my date, so I'll say string from date is equal to date from string, which is a local date, and if I say dot to string, I will get this particular value here, and yeah, so this is how I convert the value. You just print it out, string from date. It's quite simple, easy to understand as well. Yeah, I hope you are enjoying this. If you are enjoying this tutorial, just put it in the comment that yes, you are enjoying. Now the next example we'll jump into is about how do we deal with the time in Java. So here I'll do what, exactly the very first way. If I want to find out what is the local time right now, I can just say local time is equal to local time dot now, right? Because every like all this major implementation, they have their now function which returns you the exact time what is right now. So if I say time, I should be able to get java c create local time dot java and java space create local time. So see, it is 20, that is 54, and 56 is the second, and then I have got extra seconds out of it. So now this is the format in which I receive my time. Now based upon this time, if I want to find out what is my current hour, current minute, current second, I can quickly do that. So int hour is equal to time dot get hour, int minute is equal to time dot get minute, and int seconds is equal to time dot get second. So basically you can go till nanoseconds and so on. So if I say system.out.println hour plus colon plus minute plus colon plus seconds. Okay, and if I try to run this now, what will happen? See, I'm getting 20, 56, 3, that is the third second right now. Okay. Now the next part is, let's say you have got the date and the time, sorry, you have got the hour and the minute, and now you want to do what? You want to construct the time out of it. So let's say int hour 1 is equal to, let's say 23, and int minute 1 is equal to 34, and I can say int second 1 is equal to 45. And now based upon this information I need to generate a time object. So I'll say time 1 is equal to local time dot off, and I can pass on hour 1, minute 1, and I can say seconds 1. And if I do system.out.println, I'll get time 1. Simple. This is how you can construct time in two different ways. See, 23, 34, 45, it is creating the time here based upon the off, that is the static function of my object. Now here we have seen how do you get hour, minutes and seconds and so on. Now let's say I have a local time, okay, and I say local time is marker time, just creating something. Marker time is equal to local time dot off. Yeah, now I want to say, let's say it is it 14, 30, that is 2:30 p.m. that's the time I want to have. Now let's say I want to check whether my time is before or after that. So local time, okay, so this is my set 1. So set 1 says local time dot off, so 11:03:12, so that is what, 11 a.m. So is 11 a.m. before or after? So how I can check that? I can do dot set 1 dot is before, let's say marker time. What will I get here? Let's say, so it returns a boolean value. If I say system.out.println and I say is before, and let us try this quickly. So this is basically some utility functions which you can use. Is before, yes, it is before. If I try to do same thing for after, is after, and I can check the function here by checking is after, and let's see now, is it after the time? No, so it will give me false here. Yeah, so I hope you got this particular scenario where I can check whether a particular time zone is basically at that time or after that time. Now let's say you want to create something based upon the timeline. Some person comes in now, so let's say local time current is equal to local time dot now. You give them now time, and you want to find out after what time they are, let's say they'll be expiring the 2 hours. Let's say you are giving some time based implementation, so I'll say local time 2 hours is equal to and I can say, yeah, so I can say current plus hours, and I can add 2 hours to this. Or basically if I want local time, let's say 60 minutes later is equal to current dot plus minutes, I can add 60 minutes to this. Same way you can also add seconds to this. So if I say system.out.println 2 hours will be this system.out.println, and if I say 60 minutes for it, what will be the value accordingly? So see, the current time was 22:03, now I got 23, so sorry, it was 21:03, I got 23:03, and 60 minutes is basically 1 hour, so I got this time difference here. I hope you understood this particular scenario. Same way, if you have got time in some string format, let's say time time in string is equal to let's say 12:01:01, and I want to convert this into, so local time from string is equal to local time dot parse. So I can parse this time function, time in string, and system.out.println, system.out.println, and I'll get time in string. Let's see how it works out. Simple as that. Yep, see, it got converted into time. So this is how you can deal with the time when you're dealing with java.time package. Next, let us explore LocalDateTime. Now if you try to explore LocalDateTime, it is a very simple class. It is a combination of date, it is a combination of time, and it takes the current time zone from your system. So simple, it is like a combination of local date and a local time. So if I say local date time, date time is equal to local date time dot now. So if I fire this and if I say let's try to print it out. So okay, I made a spelling mistake here. Date time. Okay, so I'll clear this off and let us do a compilation of this particular part. Java space create local date time, and you can see this is basically the combination of date. And simply, if you want to just convert this into a local date, you can do what? Local date is equal to date time dot to local date. It will give you the local date. And if I say system.out.println date, yep, you can see this, only the date. If I want the time, I can just say local time is equal to date time dot to local time, and I'll say system.out.println time. Okay, again a spelling mistake. Yep, see, I've got the time back from out of it. Next, if I want to generate a date time based upon a specific value, so obviously I need date and time both. So I can say int day of month is equal to, let's say, 12, int month is equal to, let's say, 4, int year is equal to 2019, let's say, int hour is equal to 13, and int minute is equal to, let's say, 34. And now if I have all this data and I want to create, so I can say local date time 1 is equal to local date time dot off, and when I go for off, it will ask me certain values like year, month, day of month, hour, and minute. Yeah, so let us try this approach. I have year, I have month, and instead of minute I write min here, that's fine. And then if I say system.out.println date time 1, I am actually able to construct the date time here. Simple as that. Again, see, so it has generated the date value here. So for April of 12th and 2019, this is how it has, and this is the time value after this. So 13:34 is basically how it has taken the date time now. So I hope you got this point as well. So now let's say you have some values in the database, and now you're shifted to java.time package, and you want to convert your local date time to the timestamp which is acceptable by SQL. How about we use java.sql.timestamp. Okay, and now on basis of this timestamp, let us do what? I'll say local date time, okay, current. I have got the current time value, and I'll say what? Local date time dot now. So I am getting the current time value. I want to convert this value into the timestamp of SQL, so I'll say timestamp is equal to timestamp dot value of, and here I can pass on the date time value. So this way what will happen? See, system.out.println, I have got local date time, and if I print this current, see, this is in the normal Java format, and if I say system.out.println, and this is the SQL timestamp. Okay, this is SQL timestamp. And if I do this, I'll do what? Local date time. So this is how SQL timestamp is looking like. This is what your local date timestamp is looking like, and this value is acceptable by the backend as well. And in case if you are getting the value in the timestamp and you want to convert it back, so let's say local date time dt from timestamp, okay, is equal to, what will you do in this particular situation? If you want to convert your local timestamp back, I will say timestamp dot to to local date time, and this way I'll get the value back from my timestamp from the backend. So this is an important feature you need to, because if you're shifting from date java.x.util, obviously you must have done by now, or if you're learning new, this is basically a very wonderful tool for understanding this scenario. Now one more interesting way of creating this date time is, let's say if I have a local date, okay, if I have a local date, it goes like this, my date is equal to local date dot off, and let's say I have here 2013 0912. I cannot actually 09 is not a probable value, and let's say local time, my time is equal to local time dot off, let's say 12:30, so it's 12:30. And now based upon this, if I want to create a local date time, I can say my date time is equal to local date time dot off, and here I can pass two values of date and time completely. Yeah, so my date, my time, and this is going to give me the my date time value. Okay, so this way what will happen? I have got the complete date time created using out of date and time. Next, the utility thing what we have around here is, if let's say an employee have joined you at let's say local date start date or joining date is equal to local date dot off. Let's say they joined you in 2015 06, that is June, and 23rd of June. Okay, next local date, and they resign date. Okay, so resign date is equal to local date dot off, or let's say they resigned today. Now if I want to find out what is the difference between these two, so what will I do? I'll say period is equal to period dot, yeah, and I'll pass on between. So here if you see, the end date is exclusive and start date is inclusive, so it will be like joining date and resign date. If I do this, and if I say now system.out.println period, so how many days, how many months, and how many years, yeah, I'll just calculate that. So let's say I have got period, yeah, and int years is equal to period dot get years, how many years have passed, int months, how many months have passed. Okay, sorry, years is how many years I'll get here. So let's see, I'll say years is plus years. Let me try to print this starting initially. So java c period and duration dot java, and java space period and duration. So it says 6 years. Okay, if I want to get these values in months, what is the difference between them? So months is equal to period dot get months. So system.out.println months, in months how many days they have been with us. So I'll say months, yeah. So between that years are 6, months are 7, and if I say system.out.println days colon plus days, so days I have to calculate again here, so int days is equal to period dot get days. So here I have got days, and yeah, let's try this again. So I hope this is clear. So they have been with us for 6 years, 7 months and 4 days. Yeah, this is a very simple utility tool for you guys to get how exactly I can fetch the details. Yeah, so I can use the between function to find out the details and then move ahead. If I want to get some data out of this, in this particular, if you want total number of months only in this period, you can say int total months is equal to period dot get or to total months, and if I say system dot out dot total months colon plus total months. Okay, it has to be long. So total months in this particular duration are 79. Yeah. Now same way, if I have got to deal with the time, sometime I have to deal with the time scenarios. How will I do that? So I have got 2 sets of time and I want to find out what are the difference between those 2 times. I'll say local time, let's say start time. So let's say your employee logs in at this time, so I'll say local time dot off. Let's say the person has logged in at 12 noon and at 23 seconds today, and local time end time, like what time he is logging off. So let's say he is logging off right now, so local time dot now. And now if I want to find out the duration between those times, so duration is equal to, how do I find that duration? I'll say duration dot between. So what is the start time, what is the end time, right? I have got start time, I have got end time, and between this time, if I say system.out.println, let me put the object of duration here. Let's see what it prints in its local value. Okay, if I go there, yeah, it's giving me actually some different value here. So 9 hour 26 minutes 44 seconds, that is what it is giving me. Okay, now let us try to find out the difference between these 2 times in hours. So I'll say system.out.println hours colon plus duration dot 2 hours. So what is the hours I'm going to get here? Then I'm going to say system.out.println minutes, right? So I'll say minutes colon plus duration dot 2 minutes, and system.out.println seconds colon plus duration dot 2. Okay, for seconds I have got get seconds. I guess it is going to give me the whole second across the day, I think so. Just I've imported something by mistake here. I don't need this as well. And if I go back, yeah, let's see now. Yep, so minutes, okay, it's giving total minutes, total hours and total seconds. So I have to actually make sure to convert that into the possible values, but this is also something I can get. And yeah, based upon this, I guess this is what we want to deal when we deal with the periods and the durations and so on. Yep. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. This is basically the basics of what you can do with time and date in Java. And this series will obviously, I'll bring up some more videos, but this was like one video where I wanted to show you what you can do in 30 minutes in basically for date and time. Thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends.